All right, looks like we are live, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to get everything squared away, make sure we are good. I just sent an email blast to everybody to let them know that we are live, we are good. We are in the webcast room inside of the web page. We're inside there. We're also live on YouTube, so I will be able to see group chats going on. If you guys have any questions, rip them off to me, and I'll be able to answer them off at the very end. Okay. But guys, if you guys are just tuning on, this is the webinar. I see you guys popping on right now. We're live. Welcome to the webinar. We're going to start it here in just a second. Looks like we're about a minute ahead. And so guys, what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to go over the 3 secrets to auto recruiting rock stars in your downline. And you can do this without having to send the prospecting messages, the constant begging and bugging of family and friends to join or buy my stuff, right? And you don't have to, you can do this without wasting your time chasing deadbeat prospects. So I just want to give it a few minutes. We're going to wait for everybody to get on. I see you guys piling in. What is up? Say what's up. What's up? Okie doke. Cool. Just going to check a couple more things. All right. Looks like it's 8 o'clock on the dot. Like I said, guys, 8 o'clock, we are going sharp. So welcome, everybody. We are going to get started here right now. Like I said, we're going to go over the 3 secrets to auto recruiting rock stars in your downline without constantly bugging family and friends, wasting time chasing deadbeat prospects. And so I know there's a lot of you that are on right now watching live or maybe even the replay who are going through this struggle. Like the struggle is real. You hate it so much. And the people that you talk to, you know, they hate it just as much as you do. And so I want you guys to know that, you know, if you failed at recruiting or sponsoring in the past, or maybe you felt guilty chasing family and friends, I want you to know it's not your fault, right? Because that's what's being taught. That's what has been taught for generations and generations. So it's not your fault. And if you've been concerned in the past that, you know, you're going to run out of people to talk to, well, I'm going to put those fears to rest tonight. All right. And if you've ever thought that there's got to be some kind of secret that you're just not hearing when it comes to, you know, having all these new people to talk to and for your business, or there's got to be some kind of secret behind, you know, being able to recruit like crazy, well, you're probably right. And I'm going to share those secrets tonight with you guys. So like I said, guys, tonight I'm going to show you guys how to recruit rock stars in your downline. And you can do this, what I'm going to refer to as on autopilot or as on automation, okay? Instead of having to chase, beg, bug, and hound uninterested family and friends online. And you can do this without talking to the tire kickers, the people that you just know, you know, they're just not qualified to be in your business in the first place, okay? And so I want you to know that if you stay into the very end, I'm actually going to show you guys a little trick that we call paid prospecting and how you guys can implement that into your business tonight. Okay. This is a very, very, very good secret. So if you stay to the very end, I'm going to share that with you guys. Okay. So guys, the goal of this web class is I want to help the leaders like you who want to build a profitable business inside your MLM, and doing this without having to bug your family and friends, and doing this without taking away from your lifestyle, so that you can go sift and sort through people, like I said, who just aren't qualified to be on your team in the first place. And my second goal is to show you guys that the only way you're going to be able to do that is through my Misfits Marketing Academy. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys those 3 secrets tonight. But and I know that's a pretty bold statement, like, whoa, Trey, like the only way to do this is through your academy? Yep, I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so who am I? Why am I making such bold claims? First, guys, I want to let you know I started network marketing back in 2013. So, you know, more than 6 years ago. And the only way I started was because this beautiful woman right here asked me to join her. I didn't have any idea what MLM was. I always thought it was a pyramid scheme, but that's when I started, when she just say, hey, I need you to help me out, hit this rank. That was my first exposure to network marketing, okay? A year after that, I was able to leave my job and do MLM full time. Like I became obsessed with it. I loved it. I saw the vision of exactly how this thing like worked out. I was like, wow, I never knew this. I always thought it was a scam. It was just something that people, you know, who had no idea what the hell they were doing did. And so when I finally went like full throttle into this, I became obsessed with MLM and network marketing, the business model, and helping people. And then in 2017, 2018, and in this year, we became the top recruiters inside of our company. And this last year, we actually earned the #3 spot as top income earners in the company. So I only say that, guys, not to be like, hey, cool, look at Trey. I'm just saying I'm not some guy that you're going to have to listen to tonight that's been like, hey, here's a system that works, but I've never done it. Guys, I've been using it, and it works insanely amazing, okay? So Guys, I've been in network marketing now for 6 years, and I love this industry. Because of this profession, it's allowed me to meet amazing people like you who dream big, right? I've been able to leave my job and travel the world with my wife, and I feel like network marketing has given me a bigger purpose to in life to help people, right? Just to leave a bigger impact on people, right? And so, guys, I'm really grateful for this industry because it's allowed me to work from home with my son and my wife. So pretty cool stuff. That's my little chubby man right there who's bald. He's curly haired. He's still chubby, massive head on him. It's crazy. Gets that from his mom. But with that said, guys, it came to the point where I was working way more than what I originally thought I had to, right? Because after having all this success, it begins to take away at your time freedom. And I think, I mean, you guys can say yes or no, but what got you guys involved with network marketing? Was it, making extra money? Was it the idea of freedom? Was the idea maybe leaving your job, retiring your spouse, traveling the world? I'd love to hear your comments or if you're able to, in the group chat. And so that's why I started network marketing, was because I wanted the freedom, but I started seeing that it slowly started taking that away from me. I got into network marketing to enjoy life, but it felt like I was being chained down to my phone and to my laptop because I was having to send new prospecting messages every single day, following up with new people who were just there to ignore my message. And that left me frustrated. But, I thought, well, this is just kind of like part of the industry. Like, this is part of the job description. So I just pushed through it, right? I'd go on like 30-day runs where it'd be like an all-out blitz, or I've heard people call them like sprints, like a 30-day, like, oh, you just go out and go crazy. And I remember because my wife, when I would do those, my wife would, open up the door to my office, and she just silently, it seemed like she would just like slide the meal underneath my door and be like, here you go. I don't want to interrupt. I know that you're trying to hit your numbers, and then just like close the door. But I remember this one time, she put a note on the meal, and that was the note. And she said, proud of you. And that kind of left me in tears because, I felt like the only reason that my business was surviving, and I mean surviving, was because I had to keep it afloat. It was like this boat that was sinking, and the only way to keep that boat afloat was to patch up these holes with a new board. And as soon as I get that board up, poof, another hole would pop open and water be bursting. I'm like, oh shit, gotta put that board up real quick too. And the only way for that to happen was by sending more and more prospecting messages. And maybe you guys feel the same way as well, or not, right? And so it came to that point where I was just really frustrated because I was like, there's got to be something that I'm not doing right. Like, there's got to be some missing link that I can hire someone on, like a coach, to help me on this. So I did. I hired a coach to show me what is it, man, that I'm missing, and I paid a really good coin for that coach, which is fine because I want to see like what is the problem that I'm not doing correctly, that you can help me get to that next level, right? And so after examining everything, man, I swear to God, I could have reached through the phone and slapped this guy. But this was someone who had insane amount of success. And I was like, you know what? I want to be coachable. I want to hear what is it that I'm not doing right. And when we looked at everything, I mean, he examined everything. He looked at my social media. He's like, that looks pretty good. Marketing, your brand. We looked at like, what was I saying to people? What was I saying when I was closing people? And we'd go through like a mock, like a mock interview, but like a mock closing call. And he's like, honestly, dude, you're doing pretty good. And I remember this exact word that he said to me. The words he said to me, he said, honestly, dude, you're doing everything, but you just got to keep doing more of it. And he explained to me, he said, it's a numbers game. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean I got to do more, dude? Like I'm pounding it hard. Like, this is what I do full time. I'm literally spending as much time as I can away from my family to smash Messenger. And he's like, well, out of a certain amount of people that you talk to, some are going to be interested. And out of those, some will want to join you. And I just remember being like, dude, you could have told me like that I'm ugly or something. Like, you could have told me something besides just do more of what you're already doing. But I took a big breath, and I just said, okay, dude, like, Trey, control what you can control. And so I just said, you know what? I can control sending messages. I can't control if they're going to sign up or not, or if they're going to want to try the products, but I can control how much time I'm spending on the phone and sending out messages, answering messages. So I didn't mind putting in the work, but I just knew that I was missing time away from my family, right? Like, activity like that. I remember coming out of, out of the house and being like, oh, I gotta take a quick picture. They're out there having fun. I'm gonna stay inside and message, right? And message. And maybe let me ask you guys, how many of you guys feel that same way too, where you're like, wow, I'm like kind of like that mom guilt or that dad guilt. You're like, man, is this I hope this pays off, right? But anyways, I'd hear my wife outside laughing with my son, and she'd come in telling me all these things that he was learning, and that's where the guilt finally was starting to really pour in, because I knew that those were memories that I would never get back. Like him walking, him running around, him saying, his first words and stuff like that. I just knew those were things that my wife got to see that I never got to see. And so that really took a toll on me. But I remember telling myself this. I remember saying, all right, dude, like write down your why, like write it all out. And I remember putting these exact words and saying, if you put in the work now, it'll pay off in the long run. It'll be worth it in the long run. So work hard now so that one day you'll never have to work a day again in your life. And you can spend all this time, with your family and friends. And that picture snuck in there. I'm going to let you guys know right now. That picture absolutely snuck in there. I wish I could have showed, but I'll tell you about that story in a second. So not only was I doing my business of prospecting, sending out those messages, following up with people, ongoing and ongoing and ongoing, but there was other things I had to do. I mean, I had to create content, I had to update my social media, I had to post on Facebook and stuff like that. Oh, I also had, a team in Australia and in Europe and in other countries. So, I was getting up early and staying up late at night so I could help them with things like three-way calls, team calls, launch calls, opportunity calls. I mean, you name it. I was doing it. And I was doing it because I wanted to make sure that I was being a good leader for them, right? That I was there for them. But I remember this one time, and here's where this picture is coming in. I don't know how it snuck in there, but I'll tell you a little bit about it, guys. I remember that picture because I was traveling home for the holidays, and as you can see, holidays are amazing, right? Like we kind of go all out a little bit, uh, and but I remember I wasn't able to see my sister very much. Like during the holidays, that's the best time of the year because it's like that's when I get to see my sister, her kids, my brother, his kids, and all that. But I actually, this was the holiday that I snuck in to a spare room so that I could do calls for teammates and helping them sign up their peoples and three-way calls and following up and make sure I'm hitting my messenger, and my wife right there, Kaylee, she snuck in like, what are you doing? I was like, babe, I'm doing the work. Like I got to be consistent, right? And she's like, you got to get it under control, Trey. Like we are home for the holidays right now. And I don't know what it is. I had it ingrained into me that if it's a numbers game, well, I got to hit my numbers. Like if this is what it takes to be successful, that's what I got to do. Right. I got to hit that. But it was crazy, guys, because the industry that I fell in love with was starting to take over my life, and my family was suffering because of it. I mean, this is a picture of me, writing down, notes, listening, doing like a three-way call. I've got messenger opener right here. I've got personal development book right there. And I've got this, this quote right here. It's like the path to success is like this, just reminding me to continue going, right? It's going to be worth it one day. But it came to the point, guys, where honestly, I questioned the industry. I said, you know what? If I'm going to spend the next 10 years doing this, if this is what the next 10 years of my life is going to be like this, I don't think it's worth it. I remember thinking like, how could I possibly be at the peak of my my life, like my business? How could I be at the peak of my goals when I have much higher goals that I want to reach, but there's just no more hours in the days to make that happen? I was stressed out of my mind. I was gaining weight because honestly, I cared more about hitting the numbers than I did, actually hitting the gym, right? And so how many guys are in that position right now? And you don't have to answer that yes right now if you don't want to, but yeah, I see some people saying, yeah, I kind of feel like that way too. Well, guys, I literally remember telling my wife one day that I can't spend time with them because if we wanted to live the life that we deserve, I had to put in the work now. That meant no more date nights. That meant no, I had to hit Messenger. Like I was spending time with my son, but I had my head down in my lap because my phone was in there hitting Messenger, right? Constantly, every single day. I had to put in the work now, Kaylee. Sorry, Jackson. I can't play with you, bud. I know you got a new cool toy. I can't play with you, but I got to hit Messenger. Like, I got to get back to these messages. I just felt guilty because instead of spending time with my family, my new family, I was handcuffed and hostage to my phone for three-way calls and being inside of Facebook groups to expand my network and to, constantly have new people to be talked to, right? And even if they were complete strangers, it was all about a numbers game to me. And guys, if you haven't met this yet, you will, because scaling your business will become harder and harder, especially after you run out of people to talk to, especially after you've gone through your warm market. Okay. So that's where I was at in my business. And I felt like there was this ceiling that I was capped at. And I was wondering what the hell is going on. Right. But it didn't sink in how bad things were actually getting until these pains in my chest started to happen. I was like, it's just, I don't know. It's probably just because I went for a jog or I ate, a turkey bone or something. Something's not right here. Right. It's just something, nah, we're good. But it kept getting harder and harder. And I kept being like, something's not right. And I tell my wife about it. I'm like, something's not right here. And she's like, we got to go to the doctors. And I was like, no. So she dragged me to the doctors. And it was funny because he was like, hey, yeah, you're having like anxiety attacks. Are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. And Kayla's like, he's not fine. He's stressed out to the max. He works his face off. He's very, very stressed. And the doc was like, this is not good for guys at your age, Trey. Like, you're not like, this should not be happening for you. Guys, I was spending every single waking hour that I could sending messages, prospecting, doing what I thought was duplicatable, right? Doing what I thought what you had to do. Like, I thought this was a part of the industry, like I said. And I finally decided to do what every leader does. And, that was get my head back into reading every single morning. And so what I decided, and the reason I was not doing this is because I said, I've got 20, 30 minutes of reading. Well, I should be sending messages. Like, that's what I should be doing. I should be prospecting. So I decided, get your head back in the game, put your nose in a book. And so I ordered a few books to get my mindset back. And finally the books actually arrived, and it was perfect timing, guys. I remember this because Kaylee she was heading to bed. So I kissed her goodnight, and I decided, I'm going to open up one of these books. I ordered like 3 books, and I opened up one of them. Can't remember what the book's title was, but basically it was about creating a life of freedom for network marketers. And I was like, yeah, that would be nice, right? And so the author was talking about having systems in place, right, to save yourself time, and basically that your system should be completely automated, right? This is what we're talking about tonight, how to automate your business. And basically, if you have a system in place, it should be vetting out or filtering out or funneling out people who are not qualified to be on your team and that are just going to waste your time. And I thought, wow, that's a pretty awesome theory. It's a pretty amazing idea. It sounds a little too good to be true, but that would be awesome, right? That'd be amazing to have something like that for my business. And but I remember thinking, I was like, I definitely have no idea what he's talking about or how to set any of this up. And even if I did, like, it probably is not going to work for my business. So anyways, I started seeking out other top MLMers and seeing what they were doing, right? Like I'd go into this private group where there was, it was like a private group for MLM leaders who made over 6 figures in their business. And I was like, okay, I'm going to see what these cats are doing. Like, what are they doing? What are they posting about? What are they going live about? And I started examining them, right? And I wanted to see, like, why was it that they're so successful? Because apparently success leaves clues. So I'd go check out their pages. I see what they're posting about. And I didn't see anything about, join my team, buy my products. I just really saw them posting about them. And I occasionally see them on Facebook Live. So I'd go jump on their Facebook Live, even the recordings, even the replays. And I just want to see what they were talking about. And they were giving value, right? There was just like, here's, I'll go into that. But basically, it was just very broad topics. Nothing about their company, nothing about their products whatsoever. It almost seemed like they were the company, like they were the brand, they were the product. And they were just giving tips about how to lose weight, makeup tips, network marketing tips, like tips that you like want to see to like help that adds value to your life, whatever it is. If you're looking to lose weight, boom, here are 5 ab exercises, something like that, right? So anyways, I'd be watching their Facebook Lives, and I'd be watching, like, there's got to be something they're doing. And again, they're not mentioning their company or their product, but at the end of their Facebook Live, they'd say something like, if this added value to you, go to my site where you can get my blank thing for free, right? Like my weight loss tips, my makeup tutorials, whatever it may be, right? And so I'd go over there and be like, okay, cool, let's go see what this free thing is. And I'd see something like, for example, health and wellness reps, if you're watching right now, it'd be like 10 affordable and easy ways to lose 10 pounds before spring break. I could lose 10 pounds for sure. Makeup gals, or guys, if you're watching this, there'd be like free color matching palette for your face, or top, I don't know, trending makeup tutorials for mom bosses. I'm like, yeah, mom bosses, right? If I was a mom boss, I'd totally see what that thing's all about. I see another one that was like how I left my 9 to 5 job and I won this sweet Cadillac. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome, right? And so there's a lot of different examples, but one of them that I opted into, I was like, oh, how to recruit 2 to 3 reps per month using Instagram. I'm like, hey, I would love to learn that, okay? Because I'm not really familiar with Instagram. So I'd go in there and I'd get that free thing. And the free things are what's called like a freemium. They're like a lead magnet, or just this thing that you can put in your name and email and you'll get this free offer. And what that does is it basically just collects leads. I don't want to go into too much about it, but let's just call it a freemium. Okay. So it's a free thing. You get this free thing and you put in your name and email and they'll get it for free. I'm like, yes. And so that was really cool because not only would I get that free thing, I'd put in my name, I'd put in my email to download that. But then they're on the next page after putting my name and email, they'd say, there'd be like this another page that said, hey, with a video on it, and said like just a quick video, said, hey, if you really like that thing, well, there's this other cool thing that goes really well with it. So for like $7, I'd get like how to get 10,000 followers in 2 months using these strategies. And I'm like, 10,000 followers on Instagram? Yeah, sure. $7? Yeah, let me get my credit card right now. Poof, right? And so I said, yeah, and I get that. And then like I'd put in my information, and then on the next page, it'd be like, hey, now that you're building your following, like 10,000 followers in 2 months, you're going to basically get more eyes on you. Well, do you want some of my best scripts for recruiting customers? Like what we use to recruit customers on Instagram? It's like $37. You want that too? And I'm like, dude, yeah. Like, sure, show me exactly what you're doing. Like, I absolutely, I want that, right? So again, I'm like, yes. And so what was really cool, guys, was it seemed like it was all automated, right? Like I received an email as soon as I put in my name and email. I was like, cool, right? And then there'd be like links to the trainings. And then what was really interesting was, I'd get that trainings and all that stuff, but each day after that, I'd basically get more emails from them, and they were giving me more and more tips, more free trainings from them, like recommending things that they've used that's helped them, maybe some success stories of people that they've helped, just like adding more value to me, right? And it was really cool because I started to feel like I got to know them a little bit more each time. Each email that I kept opening up, they'd tell me like a little quick story about maybe their past or things that they struggle with and how they overcame that. And it was like, wow, I was like kind of like building rapport with them indirectly, right? But they'd also give me like tips and tricks and secrets and hacks. I mean, you name it, right? And so one day I saw this one email too that was like, hey, here's a mom on my team that was broke and depressed and want to make some extra money on the side. If you've ever considered working together, click here and let's set up a time to chat. I was like, that's what that guy was talking about. This is it. This is that system that he's talking about, where people are able to recruit people on autopilot or bring customers in that want to learn how to lose weight before spring break or makeup tutorials, right? Or all this stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, this is insane, right? And so I went down this, like, I call it a rabbit hole, because I was like, I don't know. I was sitting at my laptop, and my mind was racing. I was like, there's so much what this could mean. Like, this is that system that he's talking about. But this meant that I didn't have to spend hours messaging friends in order to make sales and recruit people. This meant like I could literally take everything that I was already doing, right? Prospecting messages, follow-ups, live videos, building rapport with people. Like all that stuff was happening on automation. So what this meant, guys, was that I didn't have to feel numb. I didn't have to feel like a robot and sending messages to so many people, friends, family members, strangers, and process them like they were just numbers, right? Looking at them like, yeah, I just got to hit my number. Is it yes, no, interested, maybe, no, okay, next, right? Maybe you've heard the some will, some won't, so what, who's next? I didn't have to look at my friends like that anymore, is what this finally meant. So I could reach out to other people, not directly by prospecting messages, but they could go through this, what's called a funnel. I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. But here's my problem. I was like, dude, all right, you got to figure this out, right? You got to figure out how to set this up. And I kind of remember thinking, like, I think the MLM gods, if there's an MLM god out there or the universe, like basically reached down and said, here, man, this is what you're missing. This is exactly what you need to grow a profitable and scalable business without taking away from your lifestyle. And so after all of these years and years of branding myself and not the products, because that's what the guru said to do, right? I was doing these Facebook lives as well, like all the time, and I was just giving value and giving value and giving value. But after hours and hours of spending prospecting messages and follow-ups and literally notebooks and notebooks and notebooks full of names of all the people who said they were interested, but for some reason they fell off the face of the earth. You know what I mean? Where you go to follow up and they're gone forever. Like, what happened? Well, guys, after all of that, I could finally see how this entire system for prospecting and adding value and building rapport and following up and only working with the people who are ready to get started, how all of this was just this one bigger operation. But here's the kicker. The MLM gods, the universe, didn't tell me how to set this whole thing up. So there I am. I'm like, okay, I've built simple websites before, but nothing crazy like this, right? Like, I'm not a tech guru. I'm not like a fancy HTML designer who knows JavaScript code, right? And I remember thinking, well, I bet those big guys, those big leaders that I'm looking at, all these people I'm following here now, I bet they probably paid a big coin, a big dollar to have someone set this up. But I didn't want that to stop me, guys. Like, I became obsessed with this, and I started studying the system, and I started, putting these missing pieces together for like months. I mean, months, literally months after month after month, just going down this rabbit hole and trying to figure it out. And finally, I tested it out. I finally said, okay, I've got it together. I know, I see how this whole thing, like I've set it all up, right? And so what I did was I did a Facebook Live. Right? I did a Facebook Live and I gave value and I told people afterwards, hey, if you want to get my free thing, go here and get my free thing. And they did. And I remember seeing, like, I could see who subscribed and the emails that would get sent out. And I'm sitting there back there, I'm like, I'm not doing any of this. Everything. It was like a machine doing everything on autopilot. I just remember sitting in my office, and it was that first week of me testing it all out. And that's when I got this notification on my phone that someone wanted to join my team. And I opened up my door and I ran down to Kaylee and I just screamed to her. I'm like, oh my God, this thing is working. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, this funnel thing with email, like this whole thing. And she's like, I don't know what you mean by any of this. So I was like, all right, let me show you. Right. I was so excited. I was like out of breath. I showed her and she's like, I'm like, look, this is the thing. And she's like, well, are you going to call the person who applied? I'm like, yeah. So I got on the phone and went over a few basic questions and they were like, yeah, I want to join. I'm like, holy Lord. Like, I was like, this is insane. And so Kaylee, my wife, she's like, hey, will this work for me too? Like, and Kaylee and I'm obviously we're in the same exact business, right? But she's like, well, would this work for me? Like, I have a different brand, I guess you could say. But I mean, she's all about empowering women and helping them with confidence and being their best selves and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, let's set one up, right? We slap one together, and she did the same thing, right? But for her, she had 3 customers that first week who were ready with their credit card in hand, ready to buy the products, and we didn't send one prospecting message at all. I just remember being like overwhelmed, like with excitement, but also like crying my face off, being like, why is this not being taught inside of network marketing? Right? Like what could this do for everybody else that's like being taught from, I don't know, 1980 to send everybody a message that they know, and it's just a numbers game. Like the days of bugging uninterested family and friends was over. That's what it meant to me. Like it meant like I didn't have to cold message strangers on the internet and see if they leave their career options open when it comes to making money. And that's a relief, right? That I could finally like go enjoy a vacation. That was the very first vacation that I went on that I like put my phone in the room and did not worry about a thing at all going off. And I remember I didn't have to like build rapport with the intentions of to get people to join my business or become a customer. And I mean, I always had mixed feelings about that. That I was just looking at my friends like a dollar sign, and rather than just a friend. But more importantly, guys, I felt like I could finally enjoy a profitable and scalable business and build it online again without having to take a time away from my family. And so there we are, like actually enjoying lunch with a beer, right? And that was really important to me, because I could be dad again. I could go enjoy, time, and be me and not be stressed out to the max and have a beard full of hair in my mouth and jumping out of a perfectly fine airplane, right? And I could be that fun person that my wife married and who wasn't stressed out 24/7 and actually have to hit their numbers. And there we were on a date night, just being like, let's just get out of the house. It doesn't, like, we don't have to do this, right? It's so cool. And so I know what you guys might be thinking is, Trey, that's great for you, man, but that has nothing to do with me. And guys, the truth is, here's what I want to tell you guys is that what's worked in the past isn't working as effectively as it is today. Okay. And which might have you guys thinking, well, I'm a leader. Like, why is my volume dipping? Like, why am I seeing a dip in volume month after month? And like, maybe you guys also feel the same way, where it's like a boat that's sinking. You're patching holes and getting rid of the old blood and replacing it with new blood. And like, oh crap, I got about 90 days to get this guy results, unless they're gonna quit. Anybody else felt that way too? Um, and so that might be why you're seeing volume dip, or maybe, man, this is going to be a kick in the balls. But I'm telling you guys, maybe your prospects, they aren't joining you, or they aren't interested because they don't want to see what you're doing, or they see what you're doing and they don't want to do that, right? Um, they see, oh, they're having to post all the time on social media. They have to be on calls all the time, three-way calls, and hustle, hustle, hustle. And they're like, I don't want to do that. More importantly, they don't want to send out those prospecting messages to bug their family and friends on social media. It's like, it's just not worth it. And so it's crazy, guys, and I don't mean to sound rude here, but it's crazy to think that maybe most of your team doesn't want to send out those messages to people that they know or people that they don't know. Maybe they just don't want to do that. And so if you're asking yourself, well, Trey, this is great, but this doesn't sound like it's duplicatable. Ask yourself this. And this is something that it really hit me. These three things hit me right in the face. I'm going to tell you this story right now. Was number one, I would send out those prospecting messages to people with a message. I'd get to know them a little bit, right? And build a rapport with them a little bit. And I'd say, hey, you open to checking out this thing that I'm doing, right? It's a cool way to make some extra income. If it's for you, great. If not, no biggie. I'd send it out to them. Nothing. Wouldn't hear anything back from them. I'm like, oh, okay, well, they're not interested. Number two, what would happen? I'd send out those messages, and some people would say that they're interested. I'd show them the opportunity, and they say, that sounds really interesting. That sounds like it's a lot of fun. But if I got to send out prospecting messages, Trey, like you're doing, I don't want to do it. I'm like, right? But I would tell myself, well, you must not want to get out of debt that badly. You must not want to make extra income that badly. I remember telling myself that, like, you must not want it that badly if you just can't send out prospecting messages, right? Like, you must not want to change your life that much and want to leave your job if you just can't send out prospecting messages. But the real kicker right upside the face was I realized that maybe this isn't that duplicatable or duplicable, was when I'd sign up a new rep. I'd say, hey, all right, here's our system. This is how we're growing. This is what we're doing. Here are those scripts that we're using. Make a list and just use these scripts on people that you know or don't know. And what was happening was people excited to start. They'd see that and like, oh, I don't want to do that. And they weren't hyped up messages. They were just messages. They just didn't want to do that. And I was like, man, maybe what worked a long time ago just isn't working so great today, right? Like today, maybe people are starting to catch on when they get that message from people that they're like, I'm going to get pitched on something, right? And so, like I said, guys, I don't mean to upset anybody, but here's a real question. And be honest with me, guys, to ask yourself this. Would you rather be tied down to mass messaging everybody that you know or don't know just to keep your business afloat? Or would you rather have it automated and have these systems that are scalable put in place, right? And so really think about that. Like if like I think about I'm like, what would I want to do every single day? It is not sitting down being like, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee and then I'm gonna get into Messenger. No, that's not what I want to do, right? I really don't. And so there's got to be a way, instead of working for the internet, aka Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, maybe Snapchat, I don't know, however you build your business, or running hotel meetings or home parties, or whatever that is that I don't want to do. There's got to be a better way, instead of working for the internet, having the internet work for you. And I'm sure you've heard this in the past, where it's like, get your money to make you money, right? So I'm excited, guys, to teach you guys about this tonight. But before I share these 3 secrets with you guys, because we're going to get going right now about this, I want you guys to meet a good friend of mine, Danielle, who she set this up without any experience whatsoever. Had no idea about what funnels were or any of this stuff, or what this auto system is all about that we're going to talk about tonight. But she set it up within 15 minutes. She said, I had people asking for more information. And she said, like 36 hours later, I had people I've never talked to or met, not our met, on my list wanting more information to get started. Amazing, right? And she said, I never even sent a prospecting message, but one girl is becoming a new customer and asking me what she should try for products. That's amazing. How would you guys like that? Just to be like, boom. Right? I'm not spending my time sifting and sorting and flipping rocks to find, that one customer. There are just something in place that's going to filter that out. So, you guys ready for the 3 secrets tonight? So, guys, what we're going to learn tonight, secret number 1, how to become the hunted and not the hunter. Not having to hunt people down and see if they're open. Having people coming to you and be like, yo, can I get some information on that? Whatever you're doing there. Secret number 2, how to make money in your sleep without hiring someone. Like I said, waking up, seeing notifications, being like, hey, someone wants to join my team. How would you guys like that? Secret number 3 is how to have prospects pay you to apply for your team. How would you guys like to make money regardless of whether a customer buys your product or not? I'm going to teach you guys that tonight. So I'm excited to get over that with you guys. All right, so let's get going. So secret number 1, we're going to talk about how to become the hunted, not the hunter. So guys, I used to think that in order for me to make sales, I had to talk about the products. I had to post all about them. I had to show people my doors are open for business, right? And I thought that if people are going to take me seriously, I need to show them that I'm proof of the product and slightly obsessed over them, because that's all I would post about. I'd be like, yeah, I want people to know that they can buy these products from me, right? I wanted them to know that my sign was open and that I loved this stuff. And so here's a quick story about how that really crushed my that strategy. So I was getting ready for work one day, and a good buddy of mine from my hometown called me up and was like, hey man, how's your new business going? I'm like, dude, I love it. I love it. What's up? And he's like, well, listen, man, I was out at the bar last night, and some of our good buddies that we went to high school with, they were talking smack about you. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, like you kind of became like this like infomercial. Like you became like a billboard for the company. Like you're not the Trey that that we went to high school with and that we grew up with, we played sports with. I'm like, yeah, man, like I'm doing this new thing and I love it. Like you should be doing it too. He's like, no, man, like I see what you're doing, and I don't want to do that, man. Like I don't want to turn my social media into a billboard. I don't want to send messages to people like that. And people were literally laughing all about you and your name and what you're doing. And I said, well, that just sucks for them that they got to have that kind of mindset. I'm just trying to do me and make some extra money here and get out of debt, right? And so if they want to laugh at me, screw them. And that was my mindset, being like that. But turns out, guys, that people hate that. People scroll right past it. It's like your white noise, right? And it's becoming more and more apparent, like that's what's being taught, is talk all about your products and spam all over the internet. And that's what makes people hate our industry. Network marketing is amazing. It's not network marketing, it's the network marketers that give our industry a bad name. Okay, so I want you guys to know that my buddy was right. I was stuck in this bubble of MLM, and I was like, yeah. Like I remember just being like, I snapped out of it. I'm like, you know what? He's right. Like I became mad at myself, being like, who am I? Like I am basically this cookie cutter of doing what everybody else is doing, because I thought that that's what's duplicatable. I thought that's what's working. Turns out it's not. It's just white noise, right? And so I decided to brand me, right? I decided to talk about what I'm into. And if you guys follow me on social media, I talk about me being a dad, right? That's who I am. I'm a father. I'm a parent. And so I started talking about that, taking pictures out with me and my son, going out for walks, being with Kaylee, my wife. I also started talking about, you know, being an outdoorsy guy. That's who I am. I grew a beard, right? That's pretty cool. I started being outdoorsy. So I started taking pictures of me out in the forest or me going out on walks, like just spending time outdoors, being out on the boat, or doing just stuff outside, throwing the drone up in the air and just taking little snippets of videos of that, right? And to me, what that was doing was it was trying to attract the people who are just like me, other parents, right? Other people who are outdoorsy. I actually started posting entrepreneur tips and quotes and motivational stuff. And who was I attracting to me? Other people who had that entrepreneurial mindset. And it was really interesting to see how that worked out, and how attraction marketing will actually work in your favor versus what's called repel marketing, which is what most reps are doing. They're pushing people away. They're repelling them away from them, the good people. And you want people to hunt you down, and so that you're not hunting them down, right? And so I'm going to give you guys a couple examples of that. So branding is kind of like a trip to the doctor's office back in the day. So this is what I mean. When you go to the doctor's office, what do? You go up to the front desk. You're like, "Hey, we're in." They tell you to sign in, put all your information in, and then you sit in the waiting room. Well, what's in the waiting room? There's magazines, right? Back in the day, there were probably most people are on their phones nowadays, but back in the day, you'd pick up a magazine that you were like, there's Cosmo, there's Outdoor Living, there's health, men's health, women's health, all this stuff. What would you do? You'd pick up the thing, and you're like, hey, I would like to read this, right? And you'd open it up, and what would you see? You'd see like, well, there's 5 tips to drink whiskey and still maintain your abs. I'm like, yes, I can still drink whiskey and have the Rock abs. Awesome, Dwayne Johnson, let's do this. Or you pick up the Cosmo magazine, and it's like, here are the best tips to get the cheekbones look, to get the wing tips for the ladies. I'm trying right now. I don't know anything about makeup, but you get what I'm saying, right? They just offer value and value and value. You just go to the next page and, oh, I want to read that. Next page, oh, I'll read that. You keep finding, but every single page inside of a magazine was just offering value, right? Just tips and tips. There was no product post or anything like that, like join my teams or anything like that, or 25% off until Labor Day. And so here's an example, right? Boom, magazine, 19-day arms, DIY bodyweight plan for yourself, make fat extinct, right? 39 quick style upgrades for June. I don't know what that means, but 15-minute fitness right here, right? So what is this magazine doing, right? It's enjoyable. People want to subscribe to it even and get it every single month, because there you go. That's offering value. Same thing with Cosmo. Here's another Cosmo, right? Where it's like the bikini body plan, 4 steps to smoking whatever, Ariana Grande, money saving tips and tricks, right? You deserve a vacay. Maybe that's going to show you how you can save money for a vacation. 26 ridiculously hot moves. Awesome. I'm not a good dancer. Let's get naked. Fantasy sex. Awesome, right? Awesome tips in here, right? Sweet moves, all this cool stuff. So what is it? And look, it's even in a foreign language that I don't even know about. But you guys see how what you need to do is, instead of like, let's take a magazine and look at it as that. Maybe that's our social media, right? So if I were in the health and wellness, I would give, and I wanted to work with guys, I would give tips for men. I would open up that magazine every single day and be like, what can I read here? Learn, boom, now go teach it as a Facebook Live, maybe a YouTube channel, maybe a podcast. I don't know. I'll just say Facebook Live. I'll teach these tips that I'm learning in there. If I was a chick in makeup or maybe fashion, I'd read that. Boom, find that. Find it on YouTube, find a blog, whatever. But what am I doing now? I'm offering value versus what's a catalog do? This is not branding. Branding is not saying, hey guys, 25 spots left, and then to get your 25% off, or 2 spots left. Bullshit. We all know that you've got like 15 spots left if you really want them, or buy one get one deal. Message me for more information. What is that? That is a catalog. What do you guys do with catalogs? I know when I see them, I get them in the mail, and Kayla's like, ooh, I want to get the coupons. I'm like, no, throw these all away. People don't open up catalogs. They throw them right away. I don't care how good your moccasins are, LL Bean. I don't need them, right? I don't need them. So I throw them away. But a magazine, I'd open it up and read and get value from it. So what do you want to be? Who do you want to attract in your business? That's what your social media should look like. Put on the things that are about you. People don't join. Actually, save that for later. But people are looking to connect. in this noisy world called social media. They're looking to connect with someone who's authentic, who's them. They're not a billboard for a company, because that's what every other person out there is doing on social media. What's your brand going to be? Like mine is entrepreneur, father, parent, husband, right? Outdoorsy. Like that's, I like to, humor is something that I've got a stupid sense of humor. I like to cuss a little bit. Like that's a little bit about me, right? So what's your brand going to be? What's your magazine going to read? If someone is to scroll through social media and click on your name, are you going to be a catalog or are you going to be a magazine? Now I'm going to show you guys how you can turn, instead of being the hunter, into becoming the hunter. But does that make sense so far? Where it's like, you just brand you, homie. That's it, right? What's your magazine going to read? Because again, guys, people don't join businesses, they join people. How many guys have ever heard that before? It's so true. They're looking to connect with a human being, not an infomercial, not a late night commercial. They want to see, who are you about? How can I connect and relate to you? Because we know that when people know, like, and trust us, what are they going to do? They're going to buy. They're going to join. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you guys. All right. So last tip I'm going to give you guys is, if you struggle with sponsoring, it's not because you suck, or it's because, you're not as cute, or it's because you're not as amazingly fit as that one guy. It's simply because you don't bring any value to the table. Like for me, guys, when I first started, all I was doing was posting about my product. All I had under my belt was, here's some really good products. Here's a really cool opportunity. But so everyone else has that same tool in their belt. So what's going to make you different? How are you going to add value to the marketplace, right? Like, how are you going to increase your PV, personal value, and be different from everybody else out there who's fighting for attention? So here we go. This is what it's like. If you think about it, it's a lot like this. This is what most marketers are doing, or I'm sorry, most network marketers are doing on social media. This is social media land, right? This is them in a Facebook group, and someone's like, hey, I've got these blemishes on my face. What can I do to get rid of them? And there's sharks just attacking them. Like, here's my link, buy this. This is the best product. Here's my link, all this stuff. It's like, whoa, Jesus, man, like, calm down. That's what that's what most network marketers are trying to do on social media, because they don't know the other way, right? That's the only thing that they know. They're desperate. They're sharks in this red ocean fighting for attention on social media. Well, I want to show you guys how to create your own blue ocean where people are, there's literally zero competition. You are the leader, and there's no one out there that can do it like you do. Like I said, guys, can I open up a magazine, read those 3 tips about how to drink whiskey and maintain my abs, or how to get that J-Lo butt on a tight budget, or how to get the wing tips without looking like a crackhead, we'll say, I don't know, right? Yeah, I can learn those tips, and then I can reteach them on my social media. What am I doing? I'm offering value, and I'm not mentioning my product or my company. I'm just saying, if I'm in health and wellness, here's a bunch of health and wellness tips that I'm going to give on a Facebook Live 3 times a week, we'll say. Boom. Didn't mention my company, and no one can teach that like you do, because there's literally no one out there in the world who's like you, meaning there's no competition. So that's how you create an entire blue ocean. You can take what the things that these guys are doing over here. You can say, yeah, you guys go shark and fight for attention. I'm going to be over here in my blue ocean, speaking to my world, right? Speaking to my people and offering value. There's literally no competition when you do that. And it's a lot more fun. You are the brand, you are the product, you are the asset that you're putting in front of your MLM, right? And when people want to join you, it's because you increased your value, right? You gave all those tips and all that stuff for your niche, and there you go. Okay. So there you go. You guys want to be hunted down? Here's how you do it. You want to market what your thing does, not what it is. I see so many reps. Like what I used to do, I thought this was marketing. I thought, well, I want people to buy my shake. I'm going to take my shaker cup, fill it full of my shake, and I'm going to kiss the cup. Ain't nobody going around kissing cups, guys. What was I thinking, right? And so I was marketing what it is. It's a shaker cup with a shake in it. And so I was not marketing what it does. What does it do, Trey? It gives me abs. Okay. Can you give tips about how to get those amazing pectorals and abs? Can you give like different exercises and show them? Yeah. Okay. So do that. What else does it do? It gives me a bunch of energy. Okay. Are there 5 homemade remedies that you can find on the internet that will show people how to increase their energy when they're freaking busy parents? Yeah. Do that. What are you doing? You're marketing what it does, not what it is. You literally will never have to mention your company. What does your network marketing company do? Why did you join that? Did you join that because you're like, I want to start a business? No, you didn't. You didn't. What does your network marketing do? It allows you to create extra income. Cool. How can you teach different ways to create different how to create more income on the side for busy parents or busy moms or mom bosses, how you can create a side hustle with these 3 tips using leveraging social media? Yeah. If you don't know those, can you go on Google and YouTube and find all this information? Yeah. Yes, you can. If you don't know how to find Google, just Google and you'll find it. Okay, guys, there's tons of tips out there. All you got to do is learn them, invest your time, learn them, and then just reteach it. That's it. That's it. Okay. That's it. You were literally creating your own stuff. You incorporated, right? You are your business. Okay. And here's what happens. This is what happens. Someone asked me the other day, Trey, why don't you ever brand your company? Like, why don't you ever mention it at all? Here's why. Number one is I know if I mention my company or my products, this is what happens. People are going to be like Forrest Gump and they are going to run to Google. What are they going to find at Google? They're going to find bad reviews. Oh my God, there might have been a lawsuit back, 50 years ago. Oh my God, someone lost their job because of it or whatever. Here's the thing, guys, is when people go to Google, they're going to find some negative jackass on there who put some bad review because they know how to get, their blog or their review to the top of the search engine. And what are people looking for? Like, what do you think people show up on CNN for? CNN stands for constant negative news, by the way. That's all it airs. You don't ever see on Google, like, wow, this product allowed me to overcome depression and drop 30 pounds and feel sexy and confident in my skin. No, you'll never read that. You'll read lawsuit, someone grew a third eye. You're like, what? I'm not. And then your prospects are like, I do not need no fourth eye, third eye, right? I do not need that in my life, right? Or this is a pyramid scheme you should never join. There's like, oh my God, I do not want to go to jail for a pyramid scheme, right? So they'll never see the positive reviews when you obviously mention your company. And hey, here's something even recent. How many of you guys have heard about the recent Advocare thing? Well, man, guys, what a tragic event that was. We were talking to leaders galore saying, hey guys, look, let's show you how to do this business. The next business you want to run, we spent days doing that with big leaders who built huge downlines in their business, all to show up one night to be all taken away. What happened to the years and years and years that they put in and they marketed and they branded the company? They got to start all over. They should have branded themselves first. So don't be, I'm saying, guys, God forbid that happen in your company. Or what happens if you just say, hey, I'm not happy with this company, I want to switch. You want to go somewhere else. But for the last 3 years, you've been branding that company. So I'm just letting you guys know that this is marketing. You market what it does, not what it is. Okay, cool. So guys, this is what happens. Oh, there we go. So if you want people to hunt you down, again, you market what it does. This is what happens. I love getting these messages from people when they say, hey, listen, I've been watching you for, a while. What is it that you do? Like, how are you able to make extra money? How are you able to travel? How are you able to drop those 10 pounds? Like, what is it that you're doing? Because you never mention it. You see, guys, if I would have mentioned my company, they would have just went to Google. I would no idea that they were interested. But instead, I use curiosity marketing. I pique their curiosity. And that's what we teach our team, pique curiosity, because that gets people to want to ask you, hey, what is it that you're doing? So boom, now you at least know that they're interested, right? And then that's when you can point them to the information that they need to know, right? And so that's what you want to do, is get in the habit of constantly just giving value, giving value, giving value. You will have people hunt you down. And when you give value so damn good, guys, people are going to want to join you. Okay. And so here's the cool thing about this whole thing, guys. Now, this system I'm going to show you guys tonight. What do you do? Like I know some people are like, well, Trey, okay, I understand, give value, but what do you do afterwards? Like, how can I monetize from all those people that I'm giving value to? I'm going to show you guys that this didn't just work for me. It works for a lot of people in all types of MLM. And here's one gal that has crushed it, right? So this is Alyssa. She followed this system and it was not even 2 hours. And she had 15 people on her list and she never sent a prospect message at all. Okay. And so I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, is this duplicatable? Is this something that I can pass down to my team? This auto recruiting system that you're thinking, or do I need this big following? Well, like I said, guys, I came from a really small town. When I started, I didn't have anybody following me. Now I have 25,000 people following me, and I did that all organically. And so you might also be thinking, well, I'm not qualified to give amazing tips with value. Well, that's just not true, guys. Like, you don't need these big mind-blowing tips. You just need to give your audience some value, some tips. And when they see you giving these tips, guys, they're gonna look at you as a positioned leader, like someone who has the balls to go on live and give these tips is not that hard to do. But when they see, wow, they're giving information like this, like they see you increasing your value, and they're gonna want to reach out to you and see what is it that you're doing, right? And so there you go. So you're probably also asking yourself, like, well, what do you tell them? Like, what happens? Like how does this whole thing work? Like, how do you drive traffic? How are you going to, like, what do you do after your Facebook Live? What do you do after your YouTube? What do you do after your podcast? And you don't have to do all of them. Just pick one that you want to do and rock it out. And so before I go into this, guys, have I showed you now how awesome it is to just brand you, not the company? And what happens when you do that? You become the hunted, not the hunter. So I'm going to show you guys what happens after, now that you've given value. What do you do? Okay. So here we go. Secret number 2 is how to make money in your sleep without having to hire someone. So guys, I used to think this. Remember, I used to think, dude, Trey, you got to grind 24/7, bro, because it is just a numbers game. Ah, man. And you just have to sift and sort and talk to more people, right? And when you're talking to more people, don't forget, you got to build rapport. And I heard you have to fall away until you pass away. I was on a training one time, and this MLM trainer said, someone asked, how long do you follow up for? And they said, you follow up until you see their name in the obituary. I'm like, dude, what? For that? Like, what? I have to do that to that one person until they die? And then I got to do that with everyone else that I'm talking to? No, 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 not going to do that. Right. And here's why that approach won't work. And it will only leave you feeling burnout. Like, you'll only feel like, oh my God, like I have to do this with every single person that I know. Well, guys, anyone who's ever built a successful downline organization in network marketing, either online or offline, they know that, yeah, finding quality prospects for your business is a process of sifting and sorting. You've probably heard it called flip the rocks. If you flip the rocks, you're eventually going to find someone who will want to join you. And this is basically sifting through masses to find just a few, the few who will not only join you, but will lock arms with you, put their head down, and they're going to build with you for the long haul. And so what I'm going to teach you guys in the secret is that, yes, we use the same sifting and sorting philosophy, but our approach is very different. See, guys, most big leaders, most home-based business builders are spending an absurd amount of time doing all the sifting and sorting themselves through this process, obviously called prospecting. Okay. But back in the 90s, what prospecting meant was that you'd have to talk to strangers in shopping malls, or, call a purchased lead list, right? And that's what you have to do back in the day. Nowadays, what prospecting means is, like, talking to strangers in the Facebook groups or on Instagram, social media. And yes, there are people out there who are, this is a very effective strategy for them, and they've used it to build really big teams. But here's the kicker about that. Those people are often doing it from the moment they wake up until the moment that they go to sleep at night, because prospecting requires you to, connect with a huge amount of people to find the very few diamonds in a rough who are actually going to join you. And so a lot of people will get frustrated and burn out with that process before they actually see substantial results. And so it's kind of like this, guys. If you think about it, let's say you came up to me like, hey, Trey, man, listen, I'm ready, man. I am ready to make some money online. I'm ready to do the damn thing. What do I got to do to get started? Like, what do I got to do? And I'm like, hey, man, we're just out here, mining gold, right? Let's say I was a gold miner. You're like, cool. I'm ready to get rich. I want to retire early. I want to travel with my spouse. And I said, cool, great. Well, what you got to do is you basically got to make a list and contact everyone else. AKA, if I was a gold miner, it's like, here, take this shovel, put some dirt into this pan, and you're going to be able to sift and sort. You throw some water in it. There's going to be some pebbles in there. Obviously, we don't get rich off of pebbles, but you just basically keep doing that all day long, and it's just a numbers game. Eventually, once you sift and sort enough, you're going to filter out the dirt. Yes, it's going to be a hot day. Some days are going to be wicked hot. You're not going to want to do it, but listen, you just do it though. Like, that's just what we do: sift and sort, and eventually you're going to find a little bit of gold nuggets. You're like, how long do I got to do this for? You're like, until you get rich, right? Until financial freedom. Like, this is what we do. You're like, Jesus, man, I don't want to do that all day long. I don't look like this hairy guy on here. But what if you could do it like this? What if you could say, okay, if that's the sifting, if it's all about sifting and sorting, tell you what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this big chunk of dirt. I'm going to put in this bulldozer. This bulldozer is going to take all that dirt and stone and gold in there. It's going to put on that conveyor belt, and then it's going to go down this conveyor belt inside of here. And there's going to be water, washing out all the dirt and the clay and like the little pebbles and the stone. And it's going to filter out and funnel out all that stuff. And at the very bottom over here is where your gold is going to be. And you're going to create a team, because what you're going to do is you're going to give them this same exact thing, the same exact machine that's going to do all the sifting and sorting for you. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to look like that guy. I want to look like these guys. These guys look like they're having fun. They're like, hey, we're getting rich. We're going to Jamaica after this. We are going to, wherever. We're going on vacation. Like, I would much rather have a machine that does the sifting and sorting for me, rather than manually having to message everyone that I know or don't know, for that matter. So here's the differences between this, guys. So for me, I remember one of my goals was I had to hit a minimum and message 50 people per day. Okay. How many of you guys are messaging X amount of people per day? You're like, okay, actually, let me ask you this. How many of you guys are consistent with messaging everybody every day? Right? Ask yourself that. Like, oh yeah, I did 50 people yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. If you did, that's awesome. I'm going to show you how I did the same thing, same exact thing. Message 50 people per day. And out of that 50, what I would say to them is like, listen, man, I'm doing this new thing. It's a lot of fun. It may or may not be a fit for you, but if you're open to checking it out, I can share some information with you. And if not, hey, it's all good. Like, no biggie, right? And a lot of those people would, like I said, they'd ignore that message. But some people would say, sure, I'm open to it. What is it? And so 15 people out of 50, that was my number, would say, yeah, I'm open to checking it out. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, here's the information. You watch this video. The video will do all the explaining better than I can. And then afterwards, if you like what you see, we can chat, right? And I'll follow back up with you. I was okay. So I'd send the video. And then after they watch the video, 3 people would come back and say, yep, I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested in hearing more about this. I just have a couple questions. And I'm like, okay, cool. So what I would do is, we'd hop on the phone. And if there are any questions that I didn't know, I would, I'd ask my upline mentor, like, hey, can you get a 3-way chat or a 3-way call with me to help close this person? And, I mean, how many of you guys ever close someone right on the spot every single day? Like, boom, every time I talk to 50 people, I sign up one person. Well, I didn't, right? One person might have said yes, but it was funny because, let me show you. It was funny because I'd go to follow up with them on that Friday. They'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll sign up on Friday. And so I'd follow back up on Friday at like 3 o'clock. I'd set an appointment. 3 o'clock comes around. Hey, we ready to do this? Yeah, like, I'm just following back up with you. Got a lot of people to talk to. I'm just following up, like I said, ready to rock and roll or no? And I didn't hear from him. I'm like, what the hell? And that happened every single week. I have a bunch of people that I've got to continuously follow up with. And some would finally say yes down the road. But I want to show you guys how much time I was spending on this, just 50 people. So out of 50 people, it would take me 2 hours to talk to each person, right? Because I didn't do the copy and paste technique that I see a lot of people do. I actually spent some time see what they're posting about, see if I can spark up a conversation with them, and then boom, I'd start talking to them. And then I would, ask them if they're open to checking it out. I wouldn't spend a lot of time, but that would take me 2 hours every day just to do that to 50 people. Now, out of those 50 people, 15 people would say, yeah, I'm open to checking it out. So I'd go back to them, and I wouldn't take much time, because I'd just say, here's the video that can explain everything. So 5 minutes per person. 5 times 15 is 75. So that's an hour and 15 minutes in a day just for that part. And then I'd follow back up with those people, which I'd try to do the closing, right? I'd try to close them right there on the phone or 3-way message or whatever. That would take at least 20 minutes a day doing that. So 20 times 3, that's another hour every day. only to figure out that they're going to ghost me when I go to follow up with them. So total amount spent every single day was, I mean, this is a minimum of 4 hours and 15 minutes. So that's a lot during the day. How many of you guys are spending 4 hours and 15 minutes every single day just on this alone? And I'm not even talking about creating content, jumping on team calls, doing maybe closing calls, three-way calls, answering questions for your team, stuff like that. All that stuff that it takes to apparently run a scalable, profitable business inside of MLM. So, okay, let's keep going. I'm going to show you guys the difference, though, of how we do this now, how this machine of how we do it works. Okay. So what we do is we have this, what's called that freemium. Remember how I said they had, I was watching these leaders and they had this free thing, right? I'd opt in to get that free thing, what's called a freemium or a lead capture page or a landing page. Basically put in your name and email, you opt in to get that free thing. Well, 50 people a day would opt into the free thing, right? And out of that, yeah, we'd filter people out, just like the machines when they're filtering out gold and the stones and the pebbles and stuff like that. So it'd filter out. But what was really cool was this thing would do it for me. It'd filter out all the people who weren't qualified, who just wanted the free thing. Some people wanted like the sample. Some people wanted they wanted to learn how to build their business online. They want to brand themselves. So they'd buy like the $7 thing, or they'd just get the sample. Or maybe some people would want like the bigger package. They'd get on auto ship. Like, yeah, I didn't have to like they would automatically do it. That's awesome. But what was really interesting was those emails would do all the following up for me. So like the building rapport, getting people to know, like, and trust you, all those emails, that I was seeing, that was now doing this for me too. And people would build that rapport and they'd start to know me a little bit more and they'd hear little things that I'd overcome and they'd see success stories and they'd see before and after photos, like all that stuff was all on autopilot for me. So I wasn't doing any of the following up either. And what was really interesting was that people were actually applying to join without me even talking to them. They'd go right through this recruiting machine thing, the sifting and sorting, and I'd wake up and I'd see notification after notification that someone wants to join the team, someone wants to buy the product. And so think about that, guys. What did I just do? I just made money and I saved myself so much more time. I was like, oh, holy Lord, this is awesome. We got to teach this to the downline. We got to teach this to everybody else that we know, right? And so this is a system that we use now. And here's how this would work. I know some people are probably thinking like, okay, but how does this work? So I want to give you guys a couple real life scenarios about pretzels. So when I went on that vacation, I had a couple drinks. I was out on vacation. Of course, I'm not going to go out to the beach and say, look at my office view. Guys, when I'm out on the beach, I am cannonball. I'm cannonball into the water. I'm throwing my nieces and nephews into the water. They're crying because Uncle Trey was a jerk, and I don't care because I'm out having fun. I'm not on my laptop sending messages anymore, right? So at the end of that, there was this big tent, and I didn't go in, but this guy came out yelling. I was like, "Hey guys, before you guys go, make sure you get your free samples of pretzels." And I'm like, "Free samples? Ha! Yeah, let's do this." So I go in there, get some free samples, and I fall in love. I'm like, these have got to be the best pretzels I've ever had. Some had like raisins in them with cinnamon. There was chocolate. I mean, guys, I lost my mind over this pretzel. So I brought a couple back to my wife and to my son Jackson and to my family. And like, those is pretty good stuff. I said, oh no, babe. Like, give me the card. I'm going back into that tent and I'm going to get bags full of those pretzels. Those are amazing pretzels. We're not leaving this vacation without those pretzels. I guarantee that. So think about that happen. And here's an example of this, guys. Like, how many of you guys call yourself the CEO, the business builder, the leaders, right? The president of you, right? Well, the president of the company, of the pretzel company, isn't going around messaging people on their laptop being like, hey, you want to try some pretzels? Hey, 2 spots left. You want to start a pretzel company? They're not doing that at all, right? That's not what a CEO is doing of their business. So if you're the CEO of your pretzel company, ask yourself, are you being a CEO? Are you being, the person who's cold calling people, telling them to try pretzels? Or, do you go door to door asking people, are you renting out hotel venues and stuff like that? Or probably not. You're probably, if you were the CEO, you'd have people handing out those free samples, the customers, you'd have people doing these things for you, getting people to make you money, right? And if customers enjoy it, just like I did at the beach that day, I go back in there and I'd get the bigger bag, AKA The pretzels are the free thing. They're free, freemium, free offer, free lead capture, right? The thing I went back in there for is I was like, I kind of want the bigger package, right? So I got the bigger thing, which meant more product sales for the CEO, happier CEO. And so the guys, this happening. I could give you guys plenty and plenty and plenty. You'll start to see it being like, oh, I go to the dentist office for this free cleaning. He asked me if I want to get a whitening. I say yes. Boom. I just spent $90. Now he's asking me if I want a retainer for my lower teeth. Boom. To spend another 1,000. So like it happens all throughout life. We just don't see it. We don't apply it into our business, but this happened. I mean, why wouldn't we? We want a business, right? And so the truth is, guys, people they won't jump on social media to buy things. And that is why you lead with the free thing. You lead with the lead magnet, the bait, the thing that they want to learn more about. And once they get that free thing, they might want the upsell, is what you could call it. They might want the little sample, but you know what? I think I want to try that. Or you know what? I think I want the grocery list. I think I want the meal plan. I think I want that thing that's $7 extra. And then boom, you're bringing them through this process, this series of events that they're going to say, yeah, I want this. No, I want this. No, I think I want this. Okay. And so I'm going to break this down for you guys right now. Okay. So the lead capture, 50 people a day. Let's say 50 people a day were going through your funnel, right? That's what I call it. That's what it's called, a funnel, right? So if it's 50 people a day, that's 1,500 people a month. Imagine building your list of 1,500 people a month on your email list that are constantly getting follow-up messages by you, constantly getting more value from you, but on autopilot. Well, let's say that when they go through your funnel, right? Let's say only 10% of the 1,500 people actually apply for more information to work with you or get your sample or your product, whatever it is. That's 150 people who want that. Now, let's say, you only convert 1 out of the 3. You're like, yeah, I can't do all 3 out of 3, but I can do 1 out of 3. That's 45 new customers or reps every month. How would you guys like 45 new customers or reps every single month in your business? What would that do for you? And I'm telling you right now, if you're thinking that it's not possible, stay tuned because I'm going to show you guys some testimonials. All right. Maybe that's too good to be true, though. Let's say instead of 150 people, you get 10 people. Or I'm sorry, 50 people, you get 10 people a day to go to get your free thing. Well, guys, that's 300 people a month. Are you guys talking to 300 new people every single month? Some of you guys are. That's awesome, right? What if you could do it on autopilot, though? Which would mean that if only 10% of those people that applied, the 300 people, that's 30 people that are applying to want to work more closely with you or want to get your product or want to, lose that weight or whatever it might be, right? And so let's say you convert 1 out of the 3. That's 10 new customers or reps per month. How many of you guys would like 10 new customers or reps coming in every month that you didn't have to prospect? You didn't have to spend your time away from your family and kids to go and do this, okay? And so, again, this is all on autopilot. This is while you're sleeping. You're waking up and getting those notifications. And so, which makes more sense to you guys? The manual messaging, or having it just auto-recruit for you, auto-sale for you? I know what meets my lifestyle, and that's this one, okay? So let's keep going. I want to give you guys a testimonial of someone who has, this guy was like, guys, I have an amazing product that he really believes. I have an amazing product that I believe in. I just can't get customers to try it. How many of you guys are like batshit crazy about your product? You're just saying, man, if I could just get people to get over themselves and just try my product, they would probably love it as much as I do. I know that was my thing. I was like, man, if I could just get this in the hands. Well, that's what Jody said. I have an awesome product. I can't get it into people's hands to try it. But he said, after following this system, I had 105 people apply to join and buy that first month. 105 people, guys. So I know this works not just for me, but for other people. And so again, you're probably thinking, Trey, this sounds amazing, dude, but is this really duplicatable? Well, guys, I know this is a big statistics that we're seeing inside of network marketing, and that's that 99% of people are failing inside of our industry. So is it really duplicatable? And I know some people are saying, well, they aren't saying the right things. 99% of people. How many people have come to you like they came to me, my downline, saying, Trey, what am I not doing right? And we look at their social media and their brand is on point. Their marketing is on point. They're not mentioning the product and they're still messaging people like crazy. I'm like, well, what are you saying in your messages? And I got to be that upline that says, well, you just got to talk to more people. It's just a numbers game. It's like, dude, they should have slapped me in the face. So is this duplicatable? I don't know, guys. It's kind of like this. The way I think about it is, I mean, things are evolving. Things are evolving every single day. Facebook is evolving like crazy now, right? And think about like how war evolved. The way I think about it, it's like, back in the day, it used to be, you get in your red coats and we'll get in our blue coats and we'll stand in the lines and we'll shoot facing each other. And the next line will come forward and then we'll shoot at each other. And basically you will do that back and back and back. And the only ones who are standing are the ones who are going to be the winners. And that's how we won the battle. And you do that over and over every single battle. And that's who wins the war. Well, someday this guy, we'll call him Fred. Fred was like, hey, listen, guys, let's have a huddle. Listen, I'm so sick of getting shot at. Like, it freaks me out. What if instead of wearing these red coats or these blue coats, what if we got like in camo? Like we put like grays and browns and greens on us. Christ, I'll even put a leaf in my hat so it's harder for people to see me. Like we're like around our surroundings. They're like, yeah, Fred, that's a damn good idea, man. We should do that. These blue coats suck. Yeah, people can see us really easily. He's like, I know. I don't want to get shot. And then he's like, wait, here's a good idea. What if we got behind like a stone, like a big rock, or even a tree, or even a freaking bush? What if we got behind that so it's harder for people to see us? Like standing in a line, any guy can like have horrible aim and aim at this blue coat and shoot it and hit it, right? Like we're having people falling like crazy. What if we got behind stuff? Like, damn, Fred, never thought about that. That's a great idea too. He's like, I got one more idea. What if we put like a scope on the gun and we could see people, our enemy, before they saw us? We could hit them like further away. Like, damn, yeah, I'm real tired of hitting this musket up with lead and gunpowder. It takes me like a minute to reload this thing. Like, yeah, we should definitely do that. And so there you go. War evolved. I mean, you absolutely can stand in those lines with the blue coats and the red coats and get peppered and get picked off one by one. I'm telling you guys, I'd rather not. I'd rather evolve and do it the right way and do what makes sense, right? And so again, do I have to have a massive following? Guys, like I said, I graduated 27 people in my graduating class. My reputation when I went to college was drinking beer, hanging out with girls, playing video games, and acting like a moron. Do you think a lot of people looked at me and said, Trey's a network marketing pro. He's known for building wealth and helping people? No, they didn't think of me like that. And so how did that happen? I went and I gave value and I gave value and I just gave so much value and I dumped people down this funnel. And that's how it happened. I just, boom. So no, you don't have a big vol. Do I have to be a tech guru? Guys, it's funny because actually a gal that I helped set this up today, took her 2 days to set this up. You want to know what she said? She said, Trey, can you teach me how to like upload a YouTube video? Sure. And so no, you don't need to be a tech guru at all to do this, guys. Like, it's really not that difficult, right? And the last question is like, okay, I understand. Lead with value. I have this recruiting funnel thing all set in place, but like, how do I drive traffic down my funnel? Like, how do you find all these leads though, Trey, right? I'm excited to talk to you guys about that in the next secret. But before I do, have you guys now seen that, you can make money in your sleep without hiring anybody? You can do this all on autopilot. You can do this while you're sleeping. That's amazing. How many of you guys would love to learn how to do that and have that inside of your business where you can do this? I'm excited to show you guys this. But here we go. Secret number 3: how you can have prospects pay you to apply for your team. Okay. So guys, here I am. All right. I'm doing a Facebook Live every single day and I'm driving traffic to my thing. So one way that we teach is like, okay, now you've got your funnel all set up. Let's drive traffic to it organically. Awesome way to do that is Facebook Live. Again, take those tips that you're learning from Google, YouTube, magazines, stuff you're reading in books, right? Maybe trainings that you're buying, maybe stuff you're finding on YouTube, wherever, but teach that on a Facebook Live now and give value. That's what I did. That was my strategy. I heard it from an MLM trainer said, if you give value on a Facebook Live at least once a day or even 3 times a day, you have people begging you to join your team or begging to buy your product. He's like, but just don't mention your company at all. I said, okay, I can do that. And so that's what I started doing. I started doing that every single day. Not so much anymore, but that's what my thing was. Like, I'm going to show up and give value every single day. I'm going to have zero emotion to whether people want to join or not, or buy or not. I'm just going to give value daily. That's my goal, is just that. So I was doing that, driving traffic organically organically to my funnel, my recruiting thing. But one day I said, you know what? I wonder if there's a way to grow this even faster. Like, what if I could put some gasoline to this thing and speed this whole process up instead of, 10 leads a day? I wonder if I get like 100 leads a day. I wonder if there's a way to do that. And I thought, well, those Facebook ads are something that I don't really know all about, but I wonder if I could learn them. Like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I don't really know them because how do they even work? Like, do I boost a post? Do I target a certain demographic? Like, I log in there and I'm like, this stuff sucks. Like, this is like hieroglyphics that I'm learning back here. Like, I don't know this stuff, right? And so, what I decided to do, or here, let me explain it to you this way. If you think about Facebook ads, and if you think about what you're doing as far as prospecting is really being like, okay, I'm gonna throw this message out to anybody. I'm gonna send it out to 50 people, and whoever bites on it, great, that's awesome. Then I can show them the information, which is a lot like going to a pond and saying, I wonder if there's fish out there that's gonna bite on this pond, or I'm sorry, bite on this lure, on this bait, and see if any bite. And I don't know if there's any fish out there, but if there are, it's just a numbers game. And I just got to send out a certain amount of casts, and I'm inevitably going to get some people who want to join me, which is going to leave you like this. That kind of sucks. And what we used to do back in the day, my dad used to take me to this one pond that they stocked it full of like bass, and I think it was just bass. Maybe there was trout. There's two different ponds. But anyways, we would go there, and it was awesome because they would stock with all this fish, and then you just go there, you throw it out there and anywhere, and boom, it hit automatically, just because that's where the fish were. Right? They were right there in that spot. It was stocked. You just knew, boom, hit them, just throw the cast in there, and you're gonna hit one. And it was so cool because even if you caught one that wasn't a good size, you could throw it back and get a bigger one. And I was like, this is like cheating. That's kind of like what Facebook ads are, guys. You're there, you're going to the exact demographic, the exact pond that you want to. You're not spending your time with tire kickers wondering, like, I wonder if anyone's going to bite this thing. You know where they are because we show you exactly where they are, right? And so there you go, guys. Like, that's how Facebook ads work. Once you know your demographic, you just pay ads, and it's just boom. Now traffic, you're going to this exact traffic that you want, and they're going through your funnel. That's amazing, okay? But my question was, like, how am I going to be able to afford Facebook ads? Because like I can afford Facebook ads. Like, if I remember someone said, yeah, I spend $5 a day. I'm like, you spend $5 a day on ads? Like, I don't even know how to do math, but that seems like it's a lot of money every single month for no guaranteed return on investment. Like, how do you know that that's going to work? And so that's why I just like, no, I'm not going to do Facebook ads because I don't have the extra money for that. So what I decided to do was I reached out to an expert who's like very well known for helping top MLMers. The picture didn't show up. She's known, guys, for helping the top MLM leaders, and she runs their ads for them. Ridiculous amount of money. But she said, I was like, what? I reached out to her because I'm like, hey, listen, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to Facebook ads. Would you do it for me? And she's like, well, it's like $10,000 to hire me, Trey. I'm like, Jesus, I don't have $10,000. And so I was like, well, how do you do it? Can you just tell me? And she said, well, it's called paid prospecting. I'm like, what do you mean paid prospecting? She's like, well, Trey, the way you do this is you're making money regardless of whether people join your downline or not. I'm like, what? How does that happen? And the way I think about it, guys, is she's like, well, Trey, a lot of people are leaving network marketing because they're not making money. Right. And she's like, so you need to find a way to put money in people's pocket because, that's why people are leaving. They're like, if I'm not making money, then I'm out. Right. They're like, that's why people are leaving after, 2-3 months. They're just calling it quits. You need to find a way to put money in their pocket, regardless of whether people are joining the downline or regardless of whether they're buying the product. And I said, how do you do that? And she said, well, if you think about it, it's the same way that McDonald's did it. She said, back in the day, McDonald's, they wanted to spend money on advertisements and stuff like that, but they couldn't do it because they didn't have any extra money because all they were selling were burgers. I was like, okay, well, how are they able to do advertising then if they couldn't afford it? They said, well, they got the idea that anybody who goes to the drive-through, instead of just paying for a burger, they would ask, you want fries and a Coke with that? And so what that meant was instead of making only $1.49, they're making extra $2 on that customer every time they, like every person who goes to the drive-through, they're making an extra $2, which means they're able to take that $2 and now per customer and now pay that out for Facebook or for ads, for advertisements, TV, television ads, all that stuff. And so that's how they're able to do that. They just added that little extra upsell to get that extra revenue coming in, which allows them to pay more for ads and be profitable and actually scalable. And so here's how this worked, because that was my question. I'm like, well, how will that work in network marketing? How's that going to work for me? So she said, Trey, would you be comfortable spending $2 a day on Facebook ads? I said, not really. I mean, maybe. I was like, maybe. She said, well, what if it brought you back $4 a day on Facebook ads? Like, what if you spent in 2, but you got back 4? I was like, if that works, then hell yeah, I would do that, right? And she's like, okay, would you spend $4 a day on Facebook ads? I was like, I don't know. Like, that seems like it's crazy. She's like, okay, I get it. But what if it brought back $8? You put in 4 and brought back 8. I'm like, that sounds awesome. Of course I would do that. And she's like, well, what would you do with that $8 every day? I'm like, I don't know. I'd probably go on a date night or something like that. She goes, no, wrong. You take that $8, put it back into Facebook ads because it would bring you back $16 every time. I'm like, really? It works like that? And she said, Trey, you got to understand the way Facebook ads work, the way social media works, the way that people are getting all this attention, these big leaders are getting big attention, is because it's the person who can spend the most is the loudest person on social media. And she said, do you want to pay out of pocket for that? I said, no. And she said, that's why you do paid prospecting. You put in 2, you get out 4. You take that 4, you put it back in, you get out, and you get 8. And so instead of taking that money, you just boom, you blast it in more and more and more. And then that's how you're able to be loud on social media, get all this traffic to go through your funnel. And then that's how the people are selling their products like crazy. That's how they're getting people to join their team and always be building their list. I mean, guys, $2 a day is insane how that works. But I'll show you how this can apply to your business, right? Not just 2, not just 4, not just 6. I'm going to give you guys a real example of someone who put this process to work, and I'll show you screenshots of it. So remember that free download that I received? It was like, I don't remember I don't know, something about Instagram. I was like, how to build your business on Instagram, right? That was my free thing. That was the free lead capture. Well, if 100 people want that a day, boom, now you're building your list of 100 people every single day. Then let's say out of the 100, only 10 people want that $7 upsell. Remember how I said the girl was like, hey, if you want that free thing, well, here's something that goes really well with it. It's only $7. Well, that's what's called an upsell. So out of the 10 out of the 100 that want the $7 thing, guys, that's an extra $70 that you can put back towards Facebook ads, which means you're now spending, instead of $7, you're spending $70 a day. But let me just say this one thing. Some people are like, oh my God, I couldn't fathom doing $70 a day. You guys got to think, your job isn't to make a whole bunch of money. I mean, yeah, it is, but the job is to just break even. How would you guys like to just break even on your Facebook ads? So you're literally not spending money out of your pocket every day for Facebook ads. Well, this is how you do it. If you're running a Facebook ad for $7 a day, all you need is 1 out of the 100 people to buy that upsell thing right here, and your cost is covered for the day, every single day. Isn't that insane? Yeah. So that if you think about it, it's like, oh, you can be profitable. You can even be scalable, right? And so I know you guys are probably thinking, but does this actually work though, Trey? Can you show me proof? Is this actually a thing that does work for you? Yep. So here you go. Here's a screenshot of someone who spent $93 month 1 on their Facebook ad. And that someone was me. I was very, very skeptical about this. And I said, you know what? I'll do $100 a month. So I followed this exact thing called paid prospecting strategy. And I spent $93.49 on Facebook ads. What came back that month was I collected $1,300. This is a screenshot of my Stripe account. Okay. So to me, I was like, oh my God, people, I made some money off this. Like, I actually profited from this. And so what I decided to do was dump that money. Month 2, I took $600 instead of $93. I took $632.62. I put it in Facebook ads. Again, there's my screenshot. And here's my Stripe account. Month 2, I actually collected $2,418. But I smartened up the second month. I said, I wonder if I should add a PayPal, like a way for people to pay through PayPal. And so I did that on month 2, and it was insane what happened, guys. Actually, month 2, I made $4,121. And so I didn't just make $2,000, guys. I made $6,539 in month 2 from my Facebook ads. So that thing about getting the internet to work for you, getting your money to work for you, was actually true. I was like, holy Lord, this actually does work, right? And so, guys, yeah, you can absolutely cold message strangers on Instagram and inside Facebook groups. Like, do it, because I mean, there's people out there that are bending over backwards, and they're missing time with their family, and they're missing time with their spouse, and they're having troubles in their marriage because they're more importantly they're more focused on their business, and fighting in that rat race, and trying to build their business, rather than, because they don't have the time freedom. They don't have the freedom to do any of this stuff. But I got to ask you guys, which is going to be faster? Which is going to be faster? Which is going to allow you to be louder? Are you able to talk to 100 people every single day? Are you able to do it consistently every single day? Like, are you guys being consistent messaging 10 people every day? I know a lot of people struggle with consistency. Well, here's the cool thing about what this strategy is. It's very fast. It's consistent. It does it every single day until you turn the Facebook ads. What's important, though, if you guys to understand, is that it's scalable. How many guys can talk to 10 people today and then say, you know what, I'm going to double this. I'm going to talk to 20 people tomorrow. And then the next day, you're going to scale it up even more. I'm going to talk to 40 and then 80 and then 160 and so on and so on and so on. You can't do that. You're just going to wait. You're just going to kill yourself. Right. Well, the way that we do this, paid prospecting, again, you put 2, 4 comes out. You take the 4, now you're able to get 8 out. And then that's you scaling your business, getting louder and driving even more traffic and really building your list. So that's that's the key to the game, you guys. It's amazing. So you're probably asking yourself, but can my team do this? What's really cool about this guys, is we use a software. Like, I don't go around making websites. Like, I don't do that. I don't know how to do that. So we found a software that basically does it for you. You just go like, I mean, what's cool is you literally can give your team a link and say, hey guys, here's this funnel that's working really well. It's doing really well for me. They click the link. They now have the same exact thing. I mean, what I would recommend is they change out the picture, so it's not you, it's like of them. Or maybe they can change the headline, but you can literally take any funnel, anything that's set up, and now give it to your team. So to me, that's like duplication on fire, right? Yeah, so yeah, it is duplicatable. And so, guys, isn't that sweet that you can now, one, brand yourself and not the company, give awesome value, all right, and create a brand around you, right? Like, make you the asset, make you the product that people want to join. And then you can drive traffic organically to your funnel, which does all the sifting and sorting for you. And then if you really want to speed it up, pay a little bit of coin, like if you have $1 to pay on a Facebook ad, you can be loud as shit, right? Because I showed you step by step, boom, you put 1 in, you get 2 in, 2 out, right? And so now I've shown you how you can get prospects to pay you to apply to join your team. That's pretty sweet, right? And so I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking like, hey, dude, this is awesome. So let me ask you a question, okay? How many of you guys are excited about what you just learned? Because we know this isn't being taught inside network marketing. Okay, like, we know, maybe you have seen, how many of you guys have actually seen top leaders using this thing where it's like, oh, there's this funnel, you can buy their trainings and stuff like that. That's really cool. Or you can buy this, like their meal plan, you can buy their grocery list, you can buy their 5 makeup hacks to do X, Y, and Z for like $5. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Have you guys seen that? People doing it? Yeah, right. So are you guys excited about this too? Because you're like, I can see how this would work, right? Or let me ask you guys this. How many of you guys are feeling a little overwhelmed? Because, I mean, we covered a lot here in this last hour and a half in this web class tonight, right? Covered a lot of stuff. Yes, I see the yeses coming. I see the head, probably the head nod. You guys head nodding back at home right now, watching the screen. Well, how many of you guys would want help with this? Like, how would you guys like it if I could literally help you set this whole thing up? Or I could literally, I gotta stop saying literally, how I could help you create your own offer for whatever company or product. And guys, we've been helping people in fitness. We've been helping people in makeup. We've been helping people in CBD. We've been helping people in finances. We've been helping people and some other company, I don't even know what the hell it is, but they have all these different products, like a ton of different products. We've been helping a lot of people set this whole thing up. So we have our hands in all different types of companies helping them. No, I'm not in all companies. Let me be clear about that. I'm just helping people in their company so that they can scale their business and live a lifestyle that they deserve and that they want in a business that is scaling and is consistent and is fast, right? And that's why they're out. That's why they're out recruiting everybody and they're turning heads, being like, "How are you on the leaderboard? How the hell did you just do that?" Well, how did you guys like that? Would that be cool if I spent a little bit of time saying, "Hey, I'd like to help you and show you how I can do this with you"? Is that cool with you guys? If you don't want me to, I won't. I respect it. I think we covered a lot of good stuff tonight. And if you don't, it's not a big deal. Okay. I see some yeses coming in. I appreciate that. All right, cool. All right. Well, I want to introduce you guys to something that I put together for you guys. Okay. I put together something called what's called the Misfits Marketing Academy, because this is different. This is not known. This is not the message everybody to know when you make a list. We're doing things a little bit different. We're misfits. Okay. And so anybody who joins this is considered a misfit. You get the flag, you get the t-shirt, you wear it proudly. You are a misfit in our marketing academy. Okay. And I want to give you guys some proof of some people who are going through this and having awesome success. This is my girl, Casey. She said, "I'm so grateful for Trey's Academy that he created. He set it up that it is very simple to follow with step-by-step process that allows me to put it in place today and have people wanting to work with me daily." And Casey, you're very coachable, and I appreciate working with you. If you're watching this right now, I love you more than anything. She said, "Mind blown." That's my girl, Casey. Okay. And so guys, what you're going to get inside of the Misfits Marketing Academy is Brain Like a Badass workshop. So I know some people are like, "Trey, I don't even know my brand." I wake up some days and I'm like, "Dude, I don't even know what to post." And I sit at my phone and I scroll and scroll and scroll. And I try to find something that I can talk about. And after 2 hours, I'm like, I didn't even post anything. Well, the Brand Like a Badass, guys, is going to show you how to uncover your brand, how to know exactly what to market without having to mention your company at all or your products at all. Okay. So that's very, very useful to anybody who's like, "I don't want to be an infomercial. I don't want to be a billboard for my company. I want to brand me." That's a package that you get, and that is a $247 value. And so that's what you're going to get is the Brain Like a Badass workshop. But I'm like, we got to throw in a little bit more. So if you're like, I don't know what to talk about on my Facebook Lives, though, well, don't worry. I've got 101 non-salesy Facebook Live topics. So that will, if you did that every single day for the next 3 months, you'd still have topics to talk about. Okay. So like I over delivered and said, "You know what? I'm going to give some of the best ideas and content that anybody can use. Doesn't matter whatever company or products are around. These will work and fit for any single person." And the topics, the titles will absolutely get people to stop and scroll and be like, "Ooh, I got to see what they're talking about today," right? In this noisy world where everyone is a shark battling for attention in a Red Sea. Okay. So that's what you're going to get. And it's a $197 value as well. So that's what you're going to get. You're going to get Brain Like a Badass, 101 non-salesy Facebook Live topics as well. It doesn't stop there. So what we've noticed, guys, is as we're working with all these different companies, is a lot of people are like, "Trey, I don't know what the free thing is that I want to offer, though. Like, what do I lead with? What's my lead magnet? And then what do I offer after that? Like, what makes sense? How am I going to make this? How am I going to set this whole thing up?" Well, that's why I decided to create the freemium blueprint, because it literally will give you the blueprint of here's how you set this whole thing up. Here's what's already working in the market, and here's how to find what's already working. But a big thing is if you want to figure out what the market wants, all you got to do is ask. So we show you exactly how to set up your own freemium and design it like a professional. Where it looks really good. You think I knew how to put this whole thing up? No, until I decided to learn this and create my own freemium where it looked aesthetically pleasing. It looked amazing. It looked professional and crazy. That looks pretty good, right? So I show you how to set everything up, the graphics, everything. So it looks really, really nice. But more importantly, that it's irresistible, because sure, you can send a bunch of traffic to your funnel and to want to get your free thing. But if it's not irresistible, if it's not something that people want, then no one's going to care, and they're not going to want to put in their name and email for it. So I'm going to show you how to have the most irresistible offer, free thing that you can get that gets people on your list. Okay. So that's a $1,997 value that you're going to get as well. So what you're going to get, Brain Like a Badass, 101 non-salesy Facebook Live topics, and the freemium blueprint. But it doesn't stop there, because I want to throw in this. So that thing that builds the rapport, that email automated system. Trey, how am I going to set that up? Like, I was not a computer geek. I was not a guru. I did not come from the geek squad at Best Buy. Like, I did not know how to set this up. And it took me months and months to figure it out. Not only to figure out how does this integrate, how does this whole thing set up? Because are people just sitting behind the computer, like sending out day one and day two automatically? No, they have it all automated, right? And so my next question was like, well, how, like, what are they saying in the emails though? Like, what's the strategy behind it? Oh, absolutely, you guys. So that's something that you're going to learn, which is going to save you time, so much time, which time is money. And headache. You don't have to figure out all this stuff out because it comes inside of the email Autobot system as well, which is a $2,495 value. So everything you're gonna get, guys, Brain Like a Badass, non-salesy Facebook Live topics, the freemium blueprint, the email Autobot system, like, oh, that's right. You're also gonna get even more stuff because there is some secrets when it comes to creating your funnel, and there's some strategy behind it. But I didn't want to be a generic Joe Schmo. I want to be like, okay, what is it that's working right now for the MLM industry, right? Because that's what we need to uncover and figure out those strategies. So when we figured them out, we're like, boom, here are all the strategies that are working, and it doesn't matter what company that you're with. And here's how you can set this whole thing up and the secrets behind setting up your funnel, which I believe we called it like a crash course, so that the software that we use, again, it's not about being a web guru or knowing Java code. We use this software. And I don't even call it software. I guess you can call it software, but we use this software that does it for you, that sets it up for it. So it literally takes out all the headwork or the headache for you. And has it all set up. Because again, I'm not a guru, but I'd rather just leverage that thing. So we decided to create a little course around it. And so you're going to get the funnel strategies for MLMers, as well as the funnel secrets crash course, how to set it all up. $997 value and a $1,200 value as well. So again, guys, what you're going to get, Brain Like a Badass workshop, 101 non-salesy Facebook Live topics, the freemium blueprint, the email Autobot system, funnel strategies for MLMers, and that should say the crash course, but it doesn't, which is fine. We're going to keep going. Because, guys, what if I could make this even sweeter for you and just, I don't know, over-deliver for you guys? Because I want to make sure that you're getting everything that you need for success. Well, I wanted to also add in one of these, which is the Facebook Ad School, because I know, man, there's people out there like, oh, dude, Facebook ads are like hieroglyphics. I don't know how to set that up either. And so I wanted to give you guys our Facebook ad school, the stuff that we use to run ads. And so that you guys don't have to figure it out. You don't have to figure out what demographic is that I got to, point at. Like, I'll show you the exact demographic that you're going to need. And it works for every single MLM industry out there, but you wouldn't know it. And you wouldn't know it. And you'd be that guy who's sitting in the back of the boat being like, fishing is a scam. This stuff doesn't work. When really you're the guys that are like, hey, I got all these fish. Look, all these people that are joining my team. That's what Facebook ads do. So that's a value of $2,997 value. So guys, everything you're going to get inside of Misfits Marketing Academy, Brain Like a Badass workshop, 101 non-salesy Facebook Live topics, the freemium blueprint, the email Autobot system that does all of this stuff for you, builds the rapport, and it just, it's awesome. The funnel strategies for MLMers, the funnel secrets crash course, and my Facebook ad school. That's a total value of $10,227. That's that's a lot of stuff that we jam-packed in there. And guys, I want you to think about this. If all that this did, this Misfits Marketing Academy, if all that it did was finally make your business profitable, where you didn't have to hunt prospects down and they can come to you, would that be worth $10,227 value for you? Would that be worth $10,000 if you never had to hunt someone down ever again and they came to you? What if you could wake up every single morning? All that this did was get people who are ready to join your business, that you only spent the time talking to those people rather than sifting and sorting and chasing people down, following up and going over those annoying objections and excuses. Would that be worth 10 grand to you to never, ever have to deal with that ever again? Maybe. How about this? If you could have people paying you money before they join your team, or whether they join your team or not, but more importantly, actually having a business that you could scale, that you could finally be consistent with, and that was louder and growing faster than anybody else. Would that be worth 10 G's to you guys? I think absolutely. I've proven that to you guys, that you can be making money and scaling your business consistently and outranking and being on leaderboards and taking your family on vacations when you've never had that before, and not taking away from your lifestyle while it's happening. Would that be worth 10,000 to you? Well, guys, here's the thing about this. I mean, obviously we had two choices. We could make it really, really, really cheap. But like when we're deciding how to go through the price of this, our first possible, like I said, go cheap as possible and sell as many courses as we possibly could. But the problem with that is that we would have no real incentive to pile on value to in this course, right? It would cost us way more for those bonuses, right, than the whole course would be worth. So our second choice was to just raise the price a little bit and make it insanely, absolutely, like valuable, like crazy, and get everything that you need to succeed. So those were our two choices. But what would the end result be worth to you guys, right? If you had actually had a successful auto recruiting system that was making you money, right? It had money that was making you money. Would that be worth it? Mm, I think so too, right? Absolutely. And how much would you pay to have one of these systems where you never had to send another prospecting message again? Let me ask you this. How much money do you guys think other people are paying for this? What do you think what do you think guys think the top leaders are paying for something like this? I'm really curious. I'd love to hear this from you guys in the comments section. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, I do have the group chat open as well. So you're good there if you're watching directly from YouTube. I see some people saying 15, some people said 20,000. Holy Lord. 10,000. Okay. Okay. Well, guys, you're right. If you said 10,000, you see why people are paying $10,000 for, people like me, other people to actually build this for them, because they see that it's not a cost. It's actually just an investment for them, because they know that they don't have to do the sifting and sorting. They don't have to go over objections. They're building their list, and anytime a new product comes out, they send one little email and boom, they're already making 5Gs that first hour. Like I'm telling you guys, this is why the top leaders are succeeding and they're going through this, because they have this auto recruiting machine that's building their list for them. It's doing the follow-up series for them. So $10,000, that's nothing, right? They'll get their money back from that for sure. It's an investment. So guys, you've already seen that it's worth, $10,227 of value, but I'm not going to charge you guys $10,000 to do this, right? Like I absolutely could, because people pay for it. But because you're on this webinar right here, right now, I'm going to give you guys a very special offer. And so guys, if you go to my regular website right now, you will see that we charge for this course $3,000. Okay. $2,997 to get this Misfits Marketing Academy. You can go there and check it out. And I guarantee you, if you leave this, you will see that's how much it costs. But like I said, I'm going to give you guys a very special offer. So instead of $10,000 or $2,000, you're only going to have to pay $997. Okay. So guys, you can get started today by going to treybarrett.com/order-page. Okay. Let me say that again. treybarrett.com/order-page. Okay. You got to make sure that's there, or that's definitely there, guys. And the way I see it is, your first option is you can obviously do nothing and you can take a leap of faith, which is, 100% risk-free, right? And your second option is just to pony up on a tiny investment that is going to be coming back, compared to all the value that you're going to get in return, and give it a shot, right? See if it'll work for you. If it doesn't, for whatever reason, you'll get your money back. There's no risk. You have nothing to lose except for stress and headaches. And so those are your two choices: do nothing or see if it works. So get started today. We have a 100% satisfaction guaranteed. You literally can go through the entire training step by step, do all the work in every single video that we have for you. You can get on our coaching calls that we give you guys. I actually do coaching calls with each person individually, so I can know, hey, here's a little tip. Here's what you should offer. Here's how your funnel should actually go. Which is a big hint for you guys. And so again, you can get started today. Oh, and by the way, you can go through that whole thing, not even after you consult with us and all that stuff. If you still aren't getting the results that you want, absolutely, you should get your money back. I would 100% want that for myself as well. So again, guys, get started today, treybarrett.com/order-page. And before you go though, I want to give you guys one special bonus for those who take action tonight. So guys, it's 9:48 right now on the East Coast. This bonus is going to last until midnight tonight, because we're looking for the doers and not the dabblers. So remember the Facebook ads expert that I reached out to? I'm like, hey, how is it that you do this? And she works with those who make who pay $10,000 for her services. Well, I told her about this thing that I'm like, hey, listen, I'm having awesome success doing this, and we're helping a lot of people. And I said, they're going through my Facebook ads course and they're doing this, but I want to make sure that for the go-getters, the people who actually, go all in and they make a decision, right? They don't just dabble, they do it, right? I want to give those guys a special bonus. So yeah, I did 40 hours. So the deal is with this special bonus, guys, if you get started tonight before midnight, you'll actually be able to work as well with the Facebook ads expert as well. She agreed and she said, nope, you can waive the $10,000 straight. If you're working with doers who are actually going to take action, they take action, they don't just dabble, then yes, they can go through your Facebook ads course. I can go in, tweak any ads, make it even better for them, and they can work with me one-on-one, and they won't pay $10,000. They're obviously going to go through your program. They're going to get awesome results. And so, yes, those are the doers. So that's, guys, if you get started today by going to treybear.com/order-page, you will be able to, in the next 2 hours, have that Facebook ads expert as well. Okay. So like I said, guys, I know there's two kinds of people listening to me right now, and you're either the doer or you're the dabbler. The dabblers love to sit and listen and learn, but they rarely never do anything. And they often, they look for every single excuse not to move forward. But some of you guys are doers that are listening right now, and you're not sure how this is going to work for you, but you know that it's worked for me, and you know that it's worked for other people because I've shown you guys tonight. So you have faith that it's going to work for you as well. Right. And what I've found is that it's really the doers who get far ahead in life, while the dabblers don't really do anything. They never really see any progress. So I want to congratulate you guys for watching tonight and going through that. And again, for the doers who act before the next 2 hours, you're going to get started at treybear.com/order-page, and you will get to work with someone who only works with the top MLM leaders. Okay. So again, I'm going to skip through that. Here's everything you're going to get. You're going to get the Brain Like a Badass workshop for $247 value. You're going to get the 101 non-salesy Facebook Live topics, which is a $197 value, as well as my freemium blueprint, which is a $1,997 value, the email autobot system, which is a $2,500 value, the funnel strategies for MLMers, which is basically $1,000, funnel strategies crash course or funnel secrets crash course for $1,200, Facebook ad school for $3,000 value, as well as a bonus if you act in the next 2 hours, which you get the Facebook ads expert, which is a $9,997 value. Guys, that is everything that you're going to be getting today and over the next few days. This offer closes officially on Sunday, because on Monday, we're working with the new crowd of people who come in, the doers, the people who are ready to get started today and over the weekend. Like I said, I know tomorrow's Friday. It's a lot of people's paydays. And I mean, while we're talking about that, guys, I know a lot of people are asking, like, should I dip into my savings? Should I I don't know, should I actually, go all in with it? Should I put it on a credit card? What should I do? And some people are asking in the comment section, do I have Apple Pay? We don't have Apple Pay. But let's talk about this. Actually, I don't mind talking about this if you guys don't mind with it. But do you guys think it's okay to dip into your savings or leverage your credit or spend money that you might not have to get started today? And honestly, guys, this is a serious question. I don't mind having this conversation with you guys because I was in that same boat as well. Do you guys think it's okay or not? And some people are going to say no. Some people are going to say yes. Well, let's talk about it. So if you think about it, guys, every month money replenishes, right? Like every week you get paid, every 2 weeks you get paid. Money's always coming back in. But here's the key is that time does not replenish. It disappears. So you could go out, you could spend months or even years of your valuable time trying to figure this whole thing out. But you'll never get that time back. So instead, you could save that time and that effort because I've already spent it for you, and you can work directly with me instead. It's not going to, it will cost you money to get started, but that money is going to come back. Whereas the time away from your family and trial and error is wasted effort, and it's gone forever. So that's just something to think about. But I know some people are getting started right now. They're going to treybear.com/order-page. Looks like I got a text coming in. Looks like people are excited about this as well. Cool. I just got your thing. And some people I know are still stuck in that old habit. And that's fine, guys. Like, let's talk about habits, because for me, a habit was really hard to change and hard to fix. And that's why I wanted to hire that coach back in the day to say, hey, what is it that you think I'm not doing correctly? Guys, here's the truth. I can leave this webinar right now and go enjoy the rest of this evening, right? I'm already successful doing this thing. This is something that we're already using. We're teaching our team. We're showing our team exactly how to do the same exact system. So it's already working for me. It's already working for people who are going through this program. But it's not about me. Like, this is not about me. This is about you. And so if you leave right now, you might think that you learned a lot of really cool stuff. But my guess is that by tomorrow morning, you'll have already slipped back into those normal routines, right? And you're just going to do what you've always done and just go out and prospect and prospect and prospect, because that's what's easy. That's what's simple. That's what you're familiar with, right? And that's security. And that's what most people do. But because I'm your coach, because I'm your friend, because I'm your mentor, I'm not going to let you go back into your old habits. I'm going to be right there making sure that you're successful by breaking those old habits. So if you want real lasting change, you need repeated exposures to this full system. And that's what you're going to get when you invest today. Okay. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on this training. You guys got a lot of value from this. Again, go to traber.com/order-page. And guys, I will see you in the Misfits Marketing Academy. Thank you guys.